Going to really quickly talk about guitar straps. If you haven't already got one, if you're thinking of buying one, this might be useful to you. Obviously, for an experienced player, you've probably already got one and you know what works for you. But this is what works for me, and just going to share a couple of 3 tips that might be useful for you in terms of guitar straps, because it's quite often an overlooked piece of equipment. It's a simple thing, but getting the right one and getting the wrong one can make a massive difference to your quality of playing experience. So, most simple aspect of it, obviously it's a strap that goes over your shoulder, connects to your guitar at one end, connects to your guitar at the other end, and enables you to play the guitar standing up without having to hold it. So that's a simple function of any guitar strap. Now, the most basic variant of it, look at it like a trouser belt that you put in your trousers to hold your pants up. It'll have possibly a hole at this end. If you remember from my guitar videos, if you haven't seen those, check back on the channel. They tend to have, certainly talking about electric guitars here, they have a little button on the top horn here and another little button somewhere at the bottom of the guitar down here. It's in the centre at the bottom here. Those are designed for your guitar strap to be attached to. Your most basic strap, if you can imagine it, will have a hole at one end, a hole at the other end. We push the hole over the buttons on the guitar, and that's how it stays in place. Now, that's great, but it doesn't really allow us to adjust the height of the guitar if we only had a hole here and a hole here. A lot of straps, most straps, will either have a selection of holes, just like a trouser belt, where you can choose the hole that's appropriate, and obviously by choosing a higher up hole, your guitar will sit higher on your body. Choosing a lower down hole, the guitar will sit lower down on your body. That's really important, because you need to be able to get the guitar in a position that's comfortable and natural for you to play in. When I say for you to play in, I literally mean that's comfortable for you to play in. When I first started playing, I probably mentioned before, I used to watch a lot of stuff by a band called Metallica, and the guitar player James Hetfield. His guitar was down near his knees somewhere in that type of posture. It looked absolutely well cool, and I wanted to have my guitar like that. I tried and tried and tried because I wanted to look well cool, just like James Hetfield, but I found that no matter what I did, how much I practiced, it just was not comfortable for me to play the guitar in that position. It just didn't work. Everything was a stretch and a strain. So I realised, sadly at the time, I was devastated because I couldn't look like that I had to find a position that was good for me. You might also find on the other end of the scale, particularly in quite a lot of jazz, fusion, progressive styles of music, guitar players have the guitar quite high up like this. Again, for me, that would be too high for me. So I've just got to find my own height where the guitar works, where my picking hand picks comfortably and strums comfortably, and my fretting hand is comfortable too. So do not look at other famous guitar players, even if you think, oh, he's so good, I want to be like him. Forget all of that and find a position, experiment with it. It might take you some time. It took me some time, and find the height of the guitar that's good for you. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it matters what it sounds like and what you play like. So the height adjustment is super, super important. Obviously different straps will do that in different ways. Your basic one will have a lot of different holes. This particular strap's got a kind of a slot type arrangement in the back of it where I can adjust the height of it on the back of it. That suits me because I can make smaller adjustments than just having sort of belt buckle holes. So the height adjustment is one thing that's really great for your guitar strap. Second thing I'll mention is the width or the thickness of your guitar strap, i.e. some of them you can see here at this end, my guitar strap is quite thin and skinny. that's fine because it's only connected to my guitar at this end. The bit that goes over my shoulder here is a lot thicker. So what that does is it spreads the weight when I'm holding the guitar over my shoulder. Imagine you're carrying a shopping bag with a little skinny handle and you're walking home with your shopping bag. After a short while, the little skinny handle is going to start cutting into your hand. It's going to be uncomfortable. Get a nice shopping bag that, you know, is perhaps one of these lifetime bags or something with a nice comfortable handle, like a padding on a rucksack, something like that. You can carry it all day. It's the same weight, but because it's spread out over a bigger area, it's a lot more comfortable. This strap and straps like these I've used very comfortably playing with bands, rehearsing, playing live gigs with bands for hours on end, no problem. I wouldn't like to have just a skinny strap across my shoulder because that's going to start digging, it's going to start hurting, it's going to start distracting me from my playing, and obviously none of those things I want. So my advice is a nice thick strap that's comfortable over your shoulder. It's going to be a lot better than a skinny little one. Third thing is, what's the strap made of? Now, not being sort of posh or a snobber here, but this strap's made of leather, so I know it's a decent quality strap. You can get them made of nylon and things like that. When I say I'm not being snobby, it's not so much, oh, I've got a leather strap, this is brilliant. If you grab the strap between your fingers and just put a little bit of pressure on and try and pull it up and down like that, this strap, because of what it's made of, is quite grippy. So I don't have much pressure on there and I'm gripping the strap. What that means is that my guitar is going to stay in position. If I got one of these cheap nylon sort of straps, they actually feel quite slippy between your fingers and you've got to grip quite tight to be able to get a grip on it. When you put that on your guitar and put your guitar over your shoulder like this, if the material isn't grippy, your guitar might just slide out of position like that because there's nothing holding it in place. So have a feel of the, you know, how does the strap feel in your hand? Is that going to grip onto your shoulder and hold your guitar in the right position? Leather's not the only material. I do understand, obviously, there might be people for whatever reasons don't want to use leather or animal-based products. That's fine. This works for me, but whatever you're looking for, try and find something that is going to grip on you. In this case, my jumper or your t-shirt or your suit or whatever it is you're going to be wearing whilst you're playing it, because you don't want your guitar sliding around like that. You want it in a good position that's comfortable to play. Finally, I'm just going back to the first point, basically with the holes in the strap that connect to the guitar. I'm coming back to this because the problem with any strap, no matter what it's made of, the more we use it, these holes are going to stretch over time. Every time we put the strap on the guitar, we have to force the material, the fabric of the strap over these buttons, and all the time we're wearing it, it's putting a little bit of stretch. Even with a high quality strap like this, it's putting a little bit of stretch on those holes. Eventually, these holes are going to widen. What does that mean? It means that the button is going to become slack in the hole, and you're going to have a greater chance of it just slipping off and not holding the guitar up. Worst case scenario, it falls off when you're not expecting it and your guitar drops on the floor and breaks. It's never happened to me, touch wood. It has happened to me where it slips off and I've managed to catch it on my knee and save the guitar. So the reason I mention this is you can get a system, I'm not sure if it's called this anymore, I've not looked into it recently. It used to be called strap lock, where you get an attachment that part of it attaches to your strap, another part of it attaches to your guitar, and it actually clicks in with more of a secure fastening. And once you've got something like that in place, there is no chance, as long as you've set it up properly, there's no chance of your guitar just falling off because the holes have become elongated. So that's another option, particularly if you're playing stud up a lot and you're playing with a band or you're playing gigs. That might be something you want to look into. I don't actually have this installed at the minute. It's probably something I've mentioned it again, I'll have another look at, because the last thing I want to do is have the guitar drop to the floor and look stupid, particularly if I'm doing it on a video. So a few tips there about guitar straps. It seems like a simple piece of equipment, but just by knowing a little bit about it and making the right decisions, you can get something that's going to be really useful to you rather than something that's going to be a bit of a hindrance. Style wise, they come in all different styles and colours, so that's just for you to choose. Whatever strap you do choose, enjoy.